how to deal with irrational people, especially when someone close to us acts totally irrational. Now, we all have experienced someone saying something that sounds totally off or irrational to us, and try to argue with them, try to make them see it our way. Now, how often does that work? Indeed, almost never. Instead, the argument spirals down with neither of us listening to the other, and it usually gets ugly. Now, when we are angry, our reptilian brain takes over and we react out of fight and flight modus. And in fight and flight modus, there literally goes less energy to our brain to think logically, to be able to only give energy to the most vital fight and flight functions. So trying to argue with someone who has disconnected from their logical brain is like trying to explain something to someone who speaks another language. So how to deal with arguing with someone totally irrational? Well, if someone would call you a red elephant, how would you respond? Indeed, you would think it is so irrational you wouldn't even bother to proceed in the conversation. But when we are having an argument with someone close to us who acts totally irrational, it becomes more of a challenge. And they will try to push our buttons to feed their emotions and to suck us into their irrational experience. If, for example, they will try to make us feel guilty for their irrational behavior. They will turn things around. They will play the victim for you drawing a line, or they will become passive aggressive, etc., etc., etc. But we all are responsible for our own behavior, so do not fall for that trap. So how to deal with someone close to us acting totally irrational? Here opens our learning opportunity to develop ourselves and to go from reacting from our own fight and flight modus out of defense for the attack towards responding from relaxed clarity in our minds. Now see every attack or push on our button as a practice to see where we still get triggered, to get sucked into our own fight and flight modus ourselves. Practice to see where we still believe the red elephants are real. And getting to know our own triggers through having an argument with someone acting irrational is extremely valuable to learn to solve our own triggers and red elephants. And once we have discovered and addressed all of our own triggers or red elephants with the help of someone irrational, there won't be any triggers left to react out of fight and flight modus, and we simply will respond from our crystal clear clarity of mind and won't engage any further in the irrational argument at all. To help you liberate yourself from all of your still covered triggers or red elephants, I've made a PDF checklist you can check for your own reference, which will make your own triggers visible. And once your triggers are made visible, it will become easier to address them and easier to not get sucked into the irrational arguments anymore. You can download the complimentary PDF checklist underneath the first video where I explain a tool that will get you past every symptom of fear towards complete liberation. Click here so I can send you the PDF checklist with the video to you. Enjoy practicing to discover all of your red elephants or triggers in an irrational argument and enjoy using them for your complete self-liberation process. I will see you in the video.